Band of the year, we have our seniors bringing up. Fans taking it to your legs by following the Tulsa Hurricane on social media. Follow us at Tulsa Hurricane on Facebook and Twitter, Tulsa Hurricane Fix on Instagram, and Tulsa.Hurricane on Snapchat. Also, join the coolest club in town, the Captain Kane Kids Club. Get your free admission into select men's basketball games, as well as all women's basketball and softball games. Kids 12 and under can join today for only $15 by visiting TulsaHurricane.com/Kids Club. Fans, welcome to the floor, your 2019 Spirit Squad.
On this Tuesday evening, we welcome you in on the American Digital Network. It's the American Athletic Conference women's basketball matchup of the evening in Tulsa. The Golden Hurricane welcoming the Owls of Temple to town. First meeting in conference play between these two squads. We take a look at the standings, of course. On Sunday, we had a little bit of separation between the top two teams. UConn improving to 7-0. UCF with its first loss. But Temple down there at 1-5. They did just pick up their first win in conference, trying to gain some momentum against a Tulsa team that, after winning its first three, has dropped its last three. Should be a good matchup this evening in the Reynolds Center. On that note, we welcome you in on the American Digital Network. Lincoln Rose along with Coach Angela Beck. And so here are two teams, Temple hoping that that was the win they needed the other day to start to launch them up the standings, while right now Tulsa at home trying to bounce back.
Tulsa's done an outstanding job. They were picked 12th in the league to start the season, came out of the great gates very quick, but leveled off a bit. Temple, on the other hand, had a resounding win the other night against ECU. They got their confidence up by their star, Alia Bhatt, and defense is rolling, so it should be a great game.
Well, we take a look at what you think it will require of the Owls for them to put together a winning streak here on the road.
Well, they have to limit the dribble penetration by Tulsa, and then also limit their turnovers and shoot the three ball efficiently.
And as for Mathilda Mossman's squad, how do they get back to the winning way when they won their first three in conference?
Well, when they first started out, they were attacking and dribble penetration all day, and they kind of settled in. They have to limit their fouls and then control the boards because this is a good rebounding team.
Yeah, fouls were certainly a concern for them the other day when they were without three of their players for much of the second quarter. Welcome back for your senior year, Alia Bhatt, technically a graduate student, but obviously she has headlined this program the first 3 years before having to sit out last year.
Well, as Coach said, as she goes, they go. So she needs to have a great night. She started out really well the other night and hit some early buckets, which may kind of energize their defense.
And for Tulsa, still a couple more years after this year remaining in the career of Rebecca Lasky.
Well, she's 5'6" sophomore from Plano, Texas, and she had 13 points in their loss against Houston. A little motivation there, but she's had back-to-back double-doubles. She's got 5 double-doubles on the year, and she's just starting to really get her niche.
Tulsa back at home in the Reynolds Center tonight. Opening tip when we come back on the American Digital Network.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Changes are underway.
I'm Kate Leahy, and this is my story. I love that TU is part of Tulsa, and that we're not stuck on campus. I'm in all sorts of organizations, and I've studied abroad, twice. At TU, I'm involved in whatever I want to be. I've learned that it's okay to change paths, because my life is an amazing book, and I'm still writing it, chapter by chapter. And that's my story, so far.
Back inside the Reynolds Center for the second time this year here on the American Digital Network. We make our way to Tulsa. We saw them pick up that victory over Wichita State to kick off their conference campaign. Take a look at the starting lineup. Alia Bhatt's coming off that 28-point performance in the victory against Memphis a couple days ago. 20 points for Mia Davis as those two helped lead them to their first conference victory, looking to make it 2 in a row at the expense of the Golden Hurricane. Tulsa coming off that loss against Houston as 3 of these starting 5 got 2 quick fouls in the opening quarter. They had to sit out the second. By the time they got back to third, too much of a deficit to overcome against the Cougars. So for Tulsa, a team that won their first 3, Wichita State, Memphis, and ECU, but have hit a rough patch against 3 of the top teams in the league so far, UCF, Cincinnati, and Houston. That's 3 of your top 4. The only exclusion is UConn. And this is an upbeat squad for Tulsa. They brought in a couple of freshmen this year that have kind of upped the tempo in practice, pushed some of the returning veterans.
Yeah, definitely. They're putting the pressure on the other team, and their offense is creating a lot of mismatches and with dribble penetration.
You know who's making us up our game? That's the third member of our broadcast team, Bruce Howard. Let's check in with Bruce for the first time.
Well, guys, Temple head coach Tanya Cardoza was certainly very happy with the way her team played against ECU. She says for tonight, they certainly want to do a better job and continue to have that intensity, especially on the defensive side. And very concerned about the two Tulsa top scorers, Crystal Polk and Alexis Golden. And for the head coach of the Golden Hurricane, Mathilda Mossman, very concerned about defensive intensity and defensive transition. Feels that Temple gets it up and down the floor very quickly, especially with the sit-down threes. Also stay out of foul trouble and stay away from turnovers. Tulsa, with less than 15 turnovers, is 6-2 on the year. And as always, of course, we want to get you involved with the ADN and with the social media. So tell us where you are. Tell us where you're watching us, and we'll have the responses a little bit later on, guys.
Bruce, thank you very much. We'll hear from Bruce throughout the evening, including some trivia questions passed along your way. Opening score off to a great start as Tulsa, and guess who? Of course, it's Polk, who is the centerpiece of the defensive game plan for Temple. So Crystal Polk, again, the senior out of Lawton, Oklahoma, on the south side, I believe, of Oklahoma City. Senior playing in her final year, but always a factor inside. Golden Hurricane with a stop on one end, a double dribble call before that ball thrown away.
A double dribble and a no-see-me pass there early on, but good start for Polk. You know what Tulsa wants to do is go down to Polk early and often. And the same thing can be said on the other end with Mia Davis. You look for these guys to go into Mia Davis and get Alia Bhatt off maybe to a good start. That one, a little bit of an air ball there.
Of course, Tanya Cardoza, the former UVA Cavalier, is the all-time winningest head coach that this Temple program has had after replacing her former teammate Don Staley, who preceded her in Philadelphia. He was your conference coach of the year just a couple years ago.
Yeah, one of the top 10 finalists for the WBCA National Coach of the Year in 2017. And anytime that you're 14 years with UConn, good things happen. She's been on a team that scored 5 national titles.
Again, coach in her 11th year at the helm. Looking to strip that one away, but this one will stay with Temple. And that one off the front of the iron from Liskai.
Both teams just trying to feel each other out a little bit here. A couple little floaters missed early, but some good open shots.
Mathilda Mossman, in her 8th year, picked up win number 100 at the helm of this Tulsa program against Memphis. Picked up win number 101 at ECU. Now looking for win number 102. As Temple finally finds its first score, Mackins able to connect on her first try from downtown. Marissa Mackins, the Durham, North Carolina native, the freshman, averaging 7 points per ball game this year. Again, Tanya Cardoza mentioned her specifically in our chat, a young woman. They just really need her shots to fall, and they can be a completely different program. And how about Alia Bhatt out wide as she is able to stretch the lead now. Back-to-back three-pointers for the Owls.
Well, she's taken 3 of their first 4 possessions down. 1 air ball, 1 floater that was missed, but that's never going to stop her. She's going to continue to shoot, and that's what makes her one of the best shooters in the league.
Open look, and there's your answer out of the right hand of Alexis Golden.
Well, they had their radar on Alexis Golden because she is a great 3-point shooter. And that's just a great rhythm shot right there.
Business starting to pick up here at the Reynolds Center in Tulsa. Inside, ball stripped away. And the steal ultimately for Biddle. 2-on-1. And Alia Bhatt just held her ground.
Butts isn't known for her defense, but that was good defense just to stay down and not foul.
That was a long-range look from Mackins, testing her range. Golden Hurricane with a chance to reclaim the advantage. Shot blocked out of bounds as Shantae Taylor with her first rejection on the day.
Pretty quick start for both teams, up and down. Both of them trying to get their transition game going. I really think it's going to come down to the defensive end. Here, Golden goes in. Butt stays down and gets a little help from Mia Davis.
Able to drop it down, won't go for Golden.
That's 4 blocks now on Golden in 2 series.
Mid-range shot from Davis off the mark. Well, Tulsa's limiting the second chance opportunities for the Owls here. A chance to reclaim the advantage. Battle inside, and they held their ground against Desiree Lewis. And a moment later, there's your offensive rebound and second chance points for the Golden Hurricane with the free throw coming up.
Well, that was like, you know, a little suction cup in there. She just gets in there, backs her down, grabs it, gets her feet underneath. I like the way she took her time and really put a strong put back up.
So one more here.
5 double-doubles for Crystal Polk and 8 double-doubles in her career. So this has definitely been her coming out year.
Yeah, she was really dedicated this offseason when we spoke to Mathilda Mossman, emphasizing both strength and conditioning as well as putting up more shots. She will continue to fight hard all evening long to try to get a bit of an opening down low. And that's a walk. Mia Davis turned around, and there was a Golden Hurricane right where she wanted to be.
Well, I asked what kind of matchups we should be looking at, and both coaches pretty much talked about their team defense, and that one person's not going to stop a great player. It's going to be a team effort.
And another whistle here on Temple. Both teams shooting right around 30% here early on in the opening quarter. Lincoln Rose, Angela Beck, Bruce Howard with you on the American Digital Network. Our first chance to see Temple in person. Saw Tulsa, we mentioned in the conference opener. Going right at the lone defender, and again, not committing the foul, but Maddy Biddle, the freshman, disciplined, able to help alter the shot. Alexis Golden, who takes over the reins at point guard this year. Lesky, a long 2 is good.
That was a great offensive possession where they tilted it to the left side, took it to the middle, and then reversed it out and found a wide open player.
She averages about 5 points a ball game, but went off for 13 against Houston. I mentioned Tulsa had 3 players with a couple of fouls by the midway through the first quarter. That meant they had to sit the rest of the half in reality. Came back in the third where they outscored Houston 21-17, but again, just too much of a hill to climb after they had to sit early.
It's just moving your feet on defense against Houston. Houston's a dribble penetrating team, and they just went right at them early and often.
15-footer rattles through. As 2 more for Mia Davis. Preseason second team all-conference. Davis now just a sophomore. She was averaging about 12 points a ball game last year, but she really would see a spike in her output against some of the top teams in the league. And this year has upped her game to almost 18 points, 9 rebounds. There is Maddy Biddle. We saw some defense earlier from the former Bixby High School Spartan. Now connects with the 3.
She's got the green light, and she's shooting pretty well from there, shooting about 30% for the year. That's Perry right there coming off the bench. 6'1" sophomore from Michigan. She only averages 1.9 points, so she's already right there at her average. They're having to go a little deeper tonight because of Alexis Williamson being sick.
Tulsa defending a 3-point advantage. It's trimmed down to 1 as Mia Davis.
That was a nice little give and go right down the middle of the lane, and no defense there to help. So good offensive take.
And working inside, and the Owls come up with the stop. It's Imani Mayo, first time we have a chance to call out the sophomore's name, the second-year player out of Georgia. Typically, defensively, he'll be matched up with the opposing team's top guard. That was the case even when she was a true freshman last year. And Alia Bhatt has shown some confidence in her shot. She's had to up her offensive production much of her career. Her job was finding some of the top scorers on the team. Now she is one.
Well, in the conference call, we talked about Butts and, when is it that she started to come around? And Coach said, well, when was the ECU game? And it's, basically she took her Lenox Hill off. And now she just has a knee sleeve on there, and maybe she has a little bit more freedom. But that little stop and pop is a good sign for them.
They'll call it a kick. It stays with Temple. Alia Bhatt, the graduate student, picked up her degree last spring out of New Jersey. And #1 all-time Owl in steals. Also #1 in three-pointers. Let's check back in with Bruce Howard.
All right, guys. Well, once again, we want to hear from you on the American Digital Network as you're watching this American ball game in women's basketball. We certainly want to hear from you. Where are you watching the game? So respond on Facebook. Let us know where you are. And again, we'll have the best responses a little bit later on in our broadcast. But here in the early going, both teams pretty hot. And when you talk about three-pointers, Temple hot from 3. And it hasn't been in the transition the way Coach Mossman wanted to stop. And so Temple doing a very nice job in the half court so far in this ball game, guys.
Owls have made their last 3 shots on a 6-0 run, up by 1 on the road today.
At the American, we know that power isn't for the faint of heart. Power is reserved for the go-getters, the team players, and those who are hungry for victory. We know power because we are power. Join us for the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship, March 8th through the 11th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American, powered by determination.
Bernie scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year. Hueso from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Mathilda Mossman has had some very successful stops, most recently now in her 8th year at Tulsa. Previously, Arkansas Razorbacks, Kansas State Wildcats. Almost 250 career wins, mentioned 101 with Tulsa. As Alia Bhatt's healthy this year, sat out last year with an injury, but is rewriting many of the records for Temple before she wraps up her collegiate career. Temple again has made its last 3 shots, a 6-0 run over the last minute and a half, up by 1. Looking to put together a winning streak in conference for the first time this year.
Well, Butts and Davis don't come out of the game very often. I think they're in the top 5 in minutes played this year. So she's going to ride them as long as she can. And that gives them their spark.
Working it inside to Elliott. Double team and a turnover. 2-on-2 the other way, and they're going to get an offensive foul perhaps here. Let's see what the call is on Brianna Perry had that left arm, and yeah, they'll give her the foul for this nudge.
Yeah, a little inadvertent trip there, but good action there.
Sophomore from out of Michigan, averaging a couple points, 4.5 rebounds a ball game, coming off the bench for the 14th time this year. It was Maddy Biddle who took the call ultimately defensively, and here is Biddle, open look, trying to connect once again.
Well, as you can see that Mathilda Mossman's trying to figure out how to get her team back on track, and has gone to Maddy Biddle, the 5'8" freshman, for her three-point shooting. They're working on that dribble penetration kick out, and it's been working well.
Golden picks up the assist. Biddle now 2 for 3 from downtown.
Yeah, that time we had a little extra action from Kendra Elliott on the misplacement of, that's the 3-point by Biddle.
If Tulsa wins this ball game, they move to 4-3, and again, that will help them get back into that top pack here in conference play.
Well, I was looking too, you know, Mathilda's done some things with her staff, and one of them was to get Roman Owen, he's a first-year recruiting coordinator for her. And then her second assistant is also in their first year. So after being 11th in the American last year, she really took some measures to try to get, you know, some really help on the recruiting trail.
And coaches Owen and Mayberry in their first year. Talia Mayberry, of course, the former Golden Hurricane in her own right. Tulsa able to answer that 6-0 run of Temple now with a 6-0 run of its own, up by 5. And the Owls one and done. The rebound comes down to the 5'8" junior Golden. Golden runs this offense these days after the graduation of Wakefield last year. And a confident look just wouldn't go for Morgan Brady. Shot clock off. Temple can hold for the final look here in the opening quarter. Temple has shot 37%, a couple of three-pointers, and they'll chime in with 2 more points to make this a 3-point ball game, presumably heading into the second frame. 1 quarter down, 3 to go tonight in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's the Golden Hurricane looking to bounce back with a win on their home court tonight, up by 3.
At the American, we know that power isn't for the faint of heart. Power is reserved for the go-getters, the team players, and those who are hungry for victory. We know power because we are power. Join us for the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship, March 8th through the 11th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Powerful minds, strong in mind,
strong in body.
The American is dedicated
to promoting success
through a healthy, powerful mind.
If it is okay to seek help
for injuries we can see, then it needs to be okay
to seek help for injuries
we can't see.
Mental health awareness is important because I think a lot of times it goes unnoticed in college athletics.
We look after our bodies, and it's just as important to look after our mental health.
It's time to end the stigma
related to mental health
and seeking help. End the stigma.
A good one in Tulsa. Right now, the home fans see their Golden Hurricane up by 3. Lincoln Rose, Angela Beck with you here on the American Digital Network. Let's check back in with Bruce Howard.
All right, guys. Well, sophomore guard Morgan Brady of the University of Tulsa is just getting back into the swing now. She missed 7 games because of a spiral fracture in her ring finger of her non-shooting hand. Now, there's a situation where she's tried to get back as soon as possible, but boy, when you have a spiral fracture, it's awfully hard. And Coach Mossman said in a few days ago, Coach Mossman said that she is their 3rd best scorer, or had established herself as the 3rd best scorer on the Tulsa team. And as a result of losing her 7 games ago, they've kind of had to scratch and claw behind their top 2 scorers at this point. But no question about it, Coach Mossman very happy to have Morgan Brady back. 49% three-point shooter. if she had qualified at this point, she hadn't played enough games, she'd be number 3 in the nation right now, guys.
And Bruce, again, what a story. She's been a former walk-on for this program. Only saw a few minutes a year ago, but has really come along. Of course, she's not the first Brady on campus. Her brother Jeremy also wore the number 22 for Tulsa, just as his sister does now.
And his cousin, that's the Patriot, right? Is that one that? No.
That's definite possibility if true. That's a long 2.
Distant cousin.
You're talking about Gronkowski?
Yeah.
Inside, and they would love more of that from Mia Davis.
Well, excellent job of Mia Davis really getting low post position all the way deep in the paint, and there's no stopping that. They got to have more pressure on the guards, and they've got to get around that when they get you that deep.
Love hearing from everybody tuned in to the American Digital Network along Facebook, chiming in where they are tuned in from. Biddle again for 3. Her 3rd triple here in the opening half.
Okay, yay, Biddle. That's amazing. But Galden is the one dribble penetrating and finding her. Galden's doing so much right now. She's finding Biddle. She's dribble penetrating. She's rebounding, and she's scored 6 points. So look at that. Another board for Galden right there. She is that leader, and she's the one that's making everything happen.
Now the point guard has been rebounding well. This time she dials up Morgan Brady.
Well, they've got a rhythm right now that's pretty dangerous for Temple. Temple needs to switch up their defenses, try to keep the ball out of Galden's hands because Galden is very dangerous.
One of the 2 Mayo twins in right now, Imani. You know how you can tell them apart. One of them shoots with the left, the other one shoots with the right. And this one spot up straight away from Mackins. No. Battling for the rebound. Polk able to tap it away.
We talked about shooting the 3 ball early in the game, but they're shooting it at 75% right now, except for that one.
No chance to follow up the shot for Brady after that miss.
6 of 8 from 3-point line right now for Tulsa. So that's pretty blistering here early in the game.
Tanya Cardoza is 5-1 all-time against Tulsa and Mathilda Mossman. Those are the only 6 meetings these 2 programs have ever had. The series all-time is 5-1 for Temple.
Well, this isn't a Cardoza type year. I mean, this is not what she's used to doing, and this is a very tough pill to swallow. We talked about, the monkey on her back, and she said it was real heavy, and it was heavy for her team. One win doesn't define them by any means because they expect a lot more than that, but they've just kind of been riddled a bit. And with having Alia Bhatt not 100% early, that really did take them out of what they're used to doing.
Shantae Taylor doesn't give Crystal Polk any room as we have a pileup on one end. Golden Hurricane looking to take advantage on the other. Offensive rebound, hand down to Polk, and we'll have free throws coming up for Tulsa.
Well, there she is dishing to Lewis underneath, who gets hammered by Taylor.
Desiree Lewis this year, about a 58% free throw shooter.
Yeah, she's actually, what's interesting is she's 9th in the American Athletic Conference for offensive rebounding. And you like to see that in a not a starter, but, she's more of a role player for him. And she gets 2.9 offensive rebounds a game, and that definitely helps you.
Temple has seen this deficit grow now to 9. And we've got a whistle away from the basketball. Chance to introduce our officials, Denise Brooks, Maj Forsberg, and Mark Resch, familiar trio. As Alia lets one rain down here on the road again.
Well, I think she realizes early on here she's going to have to stroke it from 3, especially with as many as Tulsa's made thus far.
She's made 2 of her 4 from downtown, 8 points now for the senior.
3 seconds in the lane.
And an offensive 3-second call. Alia Bhatt for Temple able to pull it back within a 2-score ball game with this shot.
Yeah, Butts just comes right off that little pick that she's made and drills it from the deep corner.
Nobody in Temple's history has made more three-pointers than Alia Bhatt. She made 262 in her career coming into today, has added another 2 into the record book.
I think it says a lot for her to come back, you know, after her injury, and she's already, like they say, all she's looking for is a certificate. You know, so
some grad school classes for eligibility.
But she might have some, you know, futuristic plans to go overseas or make something happen like that. So I understand, and it's great for her to do this for her team.
Alia is already number 4 all-time in scoring, over 1,700 points in her career at Temple. Mentioned she's also number 1 in steals. Down by 6, Mayo. Tad Strong. And another one and done. Here comes Mayo with her 4.0 GPA. Coach Cardoza says she is a perfectionist. Sometimes that can get in the way. Always looking for just that perfect moment. And a turnover here by her teammates. Back over to Tulsa.
Yeah, I think with Mayo, coach just wants her to play both sides of the ball. And I think, you know, she's used to kind of being that defensive player on one end, but she wants her to score more points on the offensive end. And at just 5.3 points a game, you know, she wants her to try to get to double digits and really make a difference.
We saw Brady check out, one of the 6 scorers today for Temple, and Crystal Polk, who got the scoring started today, able to chime in with 2 more. She has 7. That ends a bit of a dry stretch for Tulsa. Temple's made just one of its last 7 shots, trying to answer here. And Polk doing everything she can. And they do force a walk from Taylor when she found space.
Yeah, the help side was there the whole time. The help side was looking and waiting for that pass to come in. So, you know, fake a pass to make a pass, it would have been a better fake pass and then a skip pass, and you probably would have had a wide open post.
Each team with 5 turnovers here in the opening half. Temple is trying to get back inside. They are winning the points in the paint 8-2 early on, and that'll be a big part of their success if they can get Shantae Taylor to make some easy shots in the post. Well, 15-footer is good from the sky. Mentioned from Plano, Texas, the sophomore, just outside of Dallas.
Yeah, the Sky's a good jump shooter. There's not, you know, a ton of them in the league. She's a pure jump shooter where she can really get up and get a clean mid-range jumper.
A rebound to Kendra Elliott. And Tulsa with a double-digit advantage here at home midway through the second quarter. Davis averaging almost 9 rebounds a ball game. And an illegal screen is going to be another turnover here for Temple. 4:23 to go. Tulsa right now leading the Owls 31-21. Tonight, live coverage continues on the American Digital Network.
This is our game, our moment, our time. We work hard and play harder. We stay loyal to the game and to our team. We are power, American power. The American, powered by determination.
Scores 3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year.
Hueso from 30.
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Mathilda Mossman's Golden Hurricane with a 10-point advantage. 4:23 still to go until halftime. Chance for us to check back in with Bruce.
And once again, we want to engage with you on the American Digital Network on Facebook. As here's our question. Tulsa played quality competition throughout the non-conference slate. How many of Tulsa's opponents played in the postseason last year? It is a considerable number, no question about it. And when you're thinking about what Tulsa has done in this game, the last 3 games that they lost, they shot 32% from the field. Just didn't shoot it well, didn't score it well, but Mathilda Mossman must be happy with her team. 6 of 9 from 3 and the 10-point advantage at this point.
And 3 different Tulsa players have been able to connect from downtown.
Well, I think if you thought that Gaulden was going to strike it from 3, you would have been correct. But knowing Biddle's leading the team right now with 9 points and shooting 3 for 4 from 3-point range, that's quite a strike. It all was set up by Gaulden's dribble penetration and pitch, and every time she found her, she hit it.
Brady able to chime in with 1 as well. So Gaulden's 2 for 2, Biddle's 3 for 4. And Brady just ruining her 49% shooting from beyond the arc. 1 for 3 early on. I have a feeling she'll be just fine. Again, Bruce's question to those of you participating is, how many postseason opponents, how many opponents of Tulsa this year's schedule were in the postseason? That includes NCAA tournament and WNIT last year.
Well, you and I found Kendra Elliott in one of her best games of the season. We watched her get 17 points against Wichita, so she let it rain right there from 3, and she's not going to be left out of this either.
And that was when Tulsa opened conference with a big win. They would win their first 3 games in conference. Looking for a transition opportunity here. Not going to happen. Rebound comes down to Brianna Perry, sophomore out of Michigan.
Yeah, I think it's good to hurry, but don't rush, you know. And a lot of these layups that we're seeing are just off the mark because of just going a little bit too fast. Need to slow down and be able to convert these transition buckets.
Temple trails by 13. It's a 7-0 run right now for Tulsa. Over the past 2.5 minutes, Owls have missed their last 4 shots, just 1 of their last 9. That will help.
Well, she doesn't miss very often. In fact, she's one of the best field goal shooting players in the league. And there you go. I mean, she just takes it and she finishes. And, you know, nice soft touch, and she gets her body into it.
Again, Mia had 20 against Memphis in their first win in conference a couple days ago. Has made start in all 19 games that she has played in. And really just a couple rebounds shy of averaging a double-double per night.
Well, if you have a post shooting 49%, I mean, she's got to get it like 12 to 17, you know, maybe even 20 times a game, a lot.
Could be plan A just about every time down. Gaulden gives it up. Brady. Step inside the arc, won't go.
Well, anytime you have a player like Gaulden, I mean, she's got another year in her. It's got to be pretty securing to have that kind of point guard run your offense.
Was waiting in the wing behind Wakefield. But the talented point guard finally ran out of eligibility at the end of last year. Biddle, a little hesitation. Now she tries to distribute. Elliott may not have been ready. We approach the final 2 minutes. Temple back within single digits. Mayo, who had the steal a moment ago. As Lena Neon off the mark. That was just her second shot attempted of the night. Things slowing down here in the final minute and a half till halftime, and there's a walk called on Elliott.
Well, it's nice that Elliott can come in for Polk and Polk can come back for Elliott and give each other a little bit of a blow.
Tulsa right now, only Desiree Lewis with any foul concerns. She picked up 2 fouls early. Similarly for Temple, 2 fouls on Shantae Taylor. That's a slightly bigger blow, although not much time left here in the opening half. Again, Taylor is a junior that Tanya Cardozo really needs to be an efficient rebounder and get open for easy looks below the basket if Temple is going to start to find its stride and continued success. Tulsa, they've been making their shots from beyond the arc as they're trying to snap a 3-game losing skid.
I think the difference maker is the 70% from the 3-point line that Tulsa's given up. I mean, she shot 7 for 10. And then their points off turnovers. They have 10 points off turnovers versus Temple's 3. So that's kind of the difference in the game.
Final 90 seconds. You see the shooting from beyond the arc today for both teams. And a nice confident move from Mia Davis. Davis already in double digits. She has 14, part of a 6-0 run now for Temple.
Yeah, the scouting report for Davis would be she likes to work off the dribble and she likes to work off the right side. So you got to send traffic down there when she gets the ball because she does methodically pick you apart.
Temple trailed by as many as 13. Tulsa's hit a 2.5-minute drought, and the Owls on the road tonight have been able to trim that deficit down to just 7, and the turnover a moment ago. Let's see if the Owls can capitalize. Strong move into the body, but rebound comes down to Polk.
Well, just not as strong on that left side on that dribble drive.
Brady looking for her second triple. Able to track down her own miss, and they say no, out of bounds. And Tulsa not only has missed their last 4 shots, but 3 turnovers over the past few minutes have helped Temple close this gap. I think you and I were pretty optimistic that we would have a good one here tonight, and these two teams have not disappointed. Plenty of highlights early on, and we expect Temple will probably have a chance to push Tulsa in a comeback effort.
Well, anytime there's a clock winding down, anytime there's a shot to be had, just put Butts on your radar because she's either gonna get a pick and roll or she's gonna dribble into the seam, and that should be noted.
Again, Alia's averaging now almost 15 points a ball game. Made every start this year, giving them almost 34 minutes a night. Tulsa's lead is down to 2 scores. You see Alia's numbers right there for the first half. Golden Hurricane can hold for the final shot. Golden goes in, but the ball does not. On the opposite end. And the putback is too late. Temple will end the first half on an 8-0 run. So they are able to trim into what was a 13-point deficit. And let's see if we didn't have something occur before the clock ran out.
I'm using my officiating here, saying that it's.
Oh yeah, no. There's no way that there's no way that basket is going to go in. They're gonna.
They were
look, but
they were coaching the officials to give it to them, but no, it was no good.
No, the initial effort would have been in time, but the offensive rebound and putback, no.
There is 0.8 seconds and 0. Yep.
No.
Davis already knows it, but.
This is just so the folks at home can hear our voice a little bit longer before Bruce has a chance to talk to Mathilda Mossman. Oh, did they call a foul before the time ran out?
Oh, wow. Really? I'd like to see a replay of that.
0.2 seconds remaining. By the way, it's halftime. Much to do about very little. And Bruce Howard will have a chance to catch up with Mathilda Mossman. For she has locker room. We'll hear from Tanya Cardozo just before the start of the third. And let's go ahead and check in with Bruce and Coach.
All right, Coach Mossman, you were very concerned about that transition on defense. Did you do well in that area?
Yeah, we did, but now they're just trying to take advantage of us inside, giving it to their post players and just having them duck their head and go. So we've got to be better at defending that now.
you certainly have to be pleased with the way you shot the ball, especially from 3 in the first half.
Absolutely. When we score more than 12 points in a half, we're thrilled.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
And there you have it, the Golden Hurricane with the lead here at halftime in Tulsa.
5-point advantage for the Golden Hurricane. When we come back, a look around the conference and highlights and stats from the opening half here on the American Digital Network.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
The conference opponent I like playing the most is obviously UConn, because it's always will be like a great battle. My dream baseball career is over would be like maybe an FBI agent. Right now I'm going to school for criminal justice. The emoji I use the most is kissy face.
Can you do an impression of Coach?
You guys need to settle down on defense! My secret talent is I can do hair. My best friend on the team is Desiree Lewis.
What are you listening to in your headphones in the pregame?
Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. It means a lot to put on my school jersey because like I'm not only representing myself, but I'm representing others, my teammates, my coaches, so it means a lot. TU, go Owls!
I'm Kate Leahy, and this is my story. I love that TU is part of Tulsa, and that we're not stuck on campus. I'm in all sorts of organizations, and I've studied abroad, twice. At TU, I'm involved in whatever I want to be. I've learned that it's okay to change paths, because my life is an amazing book, and I'm still writing it, chapter by chapter. And that's my story, so far.
I'm looking into human resource management, but my dream goal, I put on the paper, was an entertainer. And so I'm a jokester, and I just like to always have fun. Why was Cinderella kicked off the basketball team? Because she ran away from the ball. It's a great one.
What emoji do you use the most?
Probably the one with the tongue out, as I always have my tongue out as well.
What do you listen in your headphones in the pregame?
Cardi B, we got some Young Thug, Gunna, Lil Baby. Anybody that'll really get you like hype and in the mood to get out on the court. Woo, Tulsa, rain came, sound the sirens, woo!
At the American, we know that power isn't for the faint of heart. Power is reserved for the go-getters, the team players, and those who are hungry for victory. We know power because we are power. Join us for the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship, March 8th through the 11th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health
and promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American, powered by determination.
Halftime in Tulsa. Golden Hurricane as well as Owls back in the locker room, and we take this opportunity to take a look back at last week in the American. Lincoln Rose, Angela Beck back with you. And of course, the American earlier this week announcing its Player of the Week and Freshman of the Week. Nafisa Collier helped the UConn Huskies there on Separation Sunday establish themselves as the top team in the American.
Well, she helped break UCF's 7-game win streak with an average of 22.5 points, 8.5 boards, 3 steals per game last week, which is outstanding. She was shooting 59% from the field and at 13 out of 16 from the foul line. She was just completely in a zone.
So the senior has the Huskies at 7-0. Meanwhile, the freshman of the week there for Ron Huey at Houston, Tatiana Hill.
Well, Tatiana Hill averages 12 minutes a game and 5.6 points, but not last week. 12.5 points, 4 boards, in Houston, helping their team to a 1-1 win split versus Tulsa, and sole possession of 4th place.
Yeah, that coveted top 4 seed potentially as we get closer and closer to the conference tournament. Congratulations to Nafisa and Tatiana Hill, our players of the week in the American. Halftime continues here in Tulsa on the American Digital Network.
Powerful minds, strong in mind, strong in body. The American is dedicated to promoting success
through a healthy, powerful mind.
If it is okay to seek help
for injuries we can see,
then it needs to be okay
to seek help for injuries
we can't see.
Mental health awareness is important because I think a lot of times it goes unnoticed in college athletics.
We look after our bodies, and it's just as important to look after our mental health.
It's time to end the stigma
related to mental health
and seeking help. End the stigma.
Bernie scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year. Quaso from 30!
Unbelievable.
And be able to celebrate the 2nd championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
This is our game, our moment, our time. We work hard and play harder. We stay loyal to the game and to our team. We are power, American power. The American, powered by determination.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle, a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
It was a back and forth opening half. Some youngsters right now enjoying their time on the court here at the Reynolds Center. 5-point ball game is what we have here midway through. Lincoln Rose, Angela Beck with you. Chance to hear from Bruce Howard again a little bit later on in the second half. But, well, again, this is an opportunity very much winnable for both of these teams to be a win that would go a long way.
All their stars have really come to play. Alia Bhatt, Davis for Temple. And then you've got Biddle coming in with Golden.
Take a look at some of the highlights from the opening half for Tulsa. It was all about the shots from downtown.
Well, it's about sharing the ball, dribble penetration, and finding the open man. And they really, I thought they did a great job in their offensive, dribbling in, kicking out. That's a no-look pass there to the corner. So lots of good play and guard passing.
On the opposite end, you heard Mathilda Mossman address this with Bruce. They need to find an answer for the inside game for Temple.
Well, the answer is Mia Davis, a little more Mia Davis, and Mia Davis. And then also Alia Bhatt. Alia Bhatt took that little jumper, and she can do that anytime she wants. She just needs to do it more often.
Davis, 14 points, 5 rebounds. Alia Bhatt, 10 points, 3 boards, a couple of assists early on. You take a look at some of the numbers there. Obviously, points in the paint. Those are the easy baskets Temple's taking advantage of to pull back within 5.
Yeah, and Tulsa really has a look for Polk. Polk, you know, they're just doing the guard play right now because they've been so effective on three-point range. So look for them to go into Polk more.
Temple closed out that half on an 8-0 run to make it a tight ball game. Just 2 scores separate these two squads. More when we return.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
I'm Kate Leahy, and this is my story. I love that TU is part of Tulsa, and that we're not stuck on campus. I'm in all sorts of organizations, and I've studied abroad, twice. At TU, I'm involved in whatever I want to be. I've learned that it's okay to change paths, because my life is an amazing book, and I'm still writing it, chapter by chapter. And that's my story, so far.
At the American, we know that power isn't for the faint of heart. Power is reserved for the go-getters, the team players, and those who are hungry for victory. We know power because we are power. Join us for the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship, March 8th through the 11th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Temple, fresh off its first win in conference play the other night, looking to make it 2 in a row with a comeback effort here in the second half. Their head coach, Tanya Cardoza, is with Bruce.
Coach Cardoza, were you pleased with your team's intensity? Did you follow up the ECU great effort that you had?
Definitely the intensity was there. We just got to be smarter on the defensive side. We had some lapses and gave up way too many three-pointers. Then we just have to do a better job of taking care of the ball and then getting on the offensive boards.
So the big adjustments are what then?
Making sure that we're crashing on the other end and limiting the three-pointers.
Coach, good luck in the second.
Thank you.
And there you have it, the head coach of the Temple Owls looking for a comeback here in Tulsa.
Again, she is 5-1 all-time against Tulsa here in conference play in the American. Did that work? A little uphill battle, but again, just a 2-score ball game when we come back for the start of the third.
This is our game, our moment, our time. We work hard and play harder. We stay loyal to the game and to our team. We are power, American power. The American, powered by determination.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle,
A big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
there is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
The American.
Power for life.
Both teams making their way out for the start of the third quarter. Tulsa outscoring Temple in each of the first two frames. As again, right now, Tulsa being led by 9 points from Biddle. All of her scoring coming from beyond the arc, where she's 3 of 4. Polk chiming in with 7 points, 4 rebounds of her own. And I know I'll get lectured if I don't point out Alexis Gauldin, 4 assists, really helped get things going, distributing there in that opening half.
Yeah, along with her 6 rebounds, she's leading her team in rebounding. And I just don't know, I really like her style of play and how she keeps her offense moving. She's a super unselfish and makes the right decisions.
That was an 84-62 win for Temple the other day, 3 nights ago against East Carolina, back up in Philadelphia at McGonigal Hall. Meanwhile, Tulsa, again, they've run into teams all ahead of them in the standings. UCF, Cincinnati, Houston. You and I will see Cincinnati take their show on the road tomorrow against USF.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a tough time on the road this year, too. 1-11 on the road. But, you know, I say, is there a pattern, you know, is there a reason why it's tougher on the road? And she's like, not really. I mean, they've lost at home, too. So I think it gets down to, you know, Alia Bhatt's being the point guard now. And it's hard for a shooter to be the point guard. So she's having to distribute and play point and then also have the most steals. So it makes it tough on her.
Temple will start the third quarter with the basketball. And trailed by as many as 13 points with just 4 minutes to go till halftime. And there is again the game plan. Mia Davis connects with her first 2 of the second half. She's now got 16 points for the ball game.
I haven't counted how many dribbles she uses, but that was like 4 dribbles before she shot it. So, I mean, she really is a rhythm kind of shooter off the dribble. And most teams probably pick up on that. But she is she's a scorer, and her percentage is crazy.
It's funny, we think about that kind of rhythm at a free throw line for a shooter, but a scorer in the post as well could very well have a routine.
Well, I think she likes to face the bucket as much as she can and get room, and she has an unbelievably soft touch.
Biddle off the mark.
I think she wants to be a guard, actually.
Mayo. They leaned on Mayo a lot last year. Here is Alia Bhatt. And again, another triple, her third now for the ball game.
It doesn't hurt that her coach was right behind her telling her to shoot that when she was almost out of bounds, but great take.
She's been studying communications, mentioned she got her undergraduate degree. We're told she's not aiming for one of our jobs just yet.
It won't be long. That quickly, we have a tie ball game.
Yeah, 5-0 run to start. And Tulsa still suffering a drought that dates back to the end of the opening half.
Yeah, the last 4 minutes of the half, they had a drought, you know, and they went. I think they had 1 shot that they made or something, but I mean, it wasn't good. And they definitely need to go to low to Polk. Polk needs to be touching the ball.
Alia Bhatt drives in a moment ago, a 3-pointer. This time the finish inside the paint. 5 second half points for Alia Bhatt. She now has 15 points, second leading scorer. And obviously it's a different mindset now for Mathilda Mossman. So many positives to talk about going into the locker room. But it is a 7-0 run for Tanya Cardozo's Owls here to start the third. They have a lead, a 15-point swing here in Tulsa.
At the American, we know that power isn't for the faint of heart. Power is reserved for the go-getters, the team players, and those who are hungry for victory. We know power because we are power. Join us for the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship, March 8th through the 11th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is the means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with 1 drop.
Change starts with 1 person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health
and promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni. Rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American, powered by determination.
Well, a good one tonight. We're back at it tomorrow in Tampa as Cincinnati squares off against a shorthanded USF squad that continues to show a lot of fight, trying to work their way back into the top half of this league. And of course, then on Saturday, Groundhog's Day, but we'll just do it once, Tulane at East Carolina. More trips right back here to the Reynolds Center early next month, as well as back over to Greenville and Memphis. Again, that's not the entirety of our schedule, but it is a jam-packed women's basketball schedule this year here on the American Digital Network.
Well, the difference in this third quarter is the points in the paint and the types of shots they're getting. Alia Bhatt goes in the paint, gets a shot, and then they go down low to Mia Davis in the paint. They have 18 points in the paint compared to 2 points by Polk from Tulsa. So they've definitely got to get it in the paint. There you go, right there in the paint. But Desiree Lewis right there off the drive. But they have to take better shots. They can't just go crank it from three because they hit in the first half.
A lot of Temple fans understandably chiming in on the broadcast. As your team on the road. A lot of Tulsa fans taking this one in person in the Reynolds Center. And one more for Lewis. We've already seen her claim twice the conference honor for Freshman of the Week. A great start, part of that 3-0 run to get the new conference season started this month.
Yeah, she averages a little over 6 points a game, but more importantly, about 5.8 rebounds, which every coach needs.
Ball stripped away, and that was some dangerous treading. Mia Davis was so frustrated, she didn't realize she had the ball right down there at her feet. Still had a chance to get this one back.
Well, that was pretty crafty there. Very good defense by Desiree Lewis.
Desiree Lewis out of the San Antonio area, went to Converse Judson High School. Just a freshman.
Well, as I'm talking about points in the paint, that's a little give and go from one big girl to the next.
And Lewis finally on the board after missing her first three, has her first couple of points from the field. How about that hook from Shantae Taylor?
That's a sky hook.
Bringing it back in vogue.
No stab hook for this team.
Tulsa with a chance to reclaim the lead here. A nifty turn just won't go for Lewis. Feet get tangled up, and instead of a trip, Coach Cardoza and the Owls were hoping for a foul, instead a turnover.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that one. Anytime that you got the ball and you're 6 foot, over 6 foot, you should get the call if you're dribbling down the middle of the floor. Yeah.
It's big of you to say.
Well, now I'll say that. I wouldn't say that if I was coaching, but here she is. Yeah, it's a little body-to-body slam. I would say little, not inadvertent. I'd say advertent.
Well, but you still at least have to swap insurance. And they'll go inside here to Polk. Off the mark, and Temple has numbers for the rebound. Mayo. Alia Bhatt fires the three. That one off the side of the iron. She's already hit 3 of them today. They get the ball back, and some second chance points from Taylor.
Hey, that was a great looking almost charge by Polk. She flew in the air.
Opposite end, trying to get those points back. She'll have to get it at the free throw line.
See, Polk's move is to turn baseline on the left side of the goal. It's difficult for her to turn inside. She's a lefty, and it's difficult for her to go this way because she has to use that right hand, and it's a tough. Her right hand's not as good.
That's the third foul on Shantae Taylor, so a decision to make for Tanya Cardoza. With Crystal Polk at the line, almost an 80% free throw shooter this year.
Since Alexis Williamson's not able to play and did not travel, her bench is quite thin.
Lena Neon is the answer to come on, the senior. Former transfer from North Carolina State a couple years back. Two for two for the left-hander Polk. You heard Bruce Howard talk to Tanya Cardoza asking about riding that momentum from the win against ECU. That was a game where Coach Cardoza really liked the spirits, and there's more good spirit right there, but as well as the defensive intensity, the help defense, how well they communicated. And really the one thing that you only have so much influence over is the shots in that game finally went down for Temple, as we've seen some today as well. They were getting open looks in some earlier losses this year, just could not get shots to fall, and that's just a matter of getting back to the gym and getting some repetitions in.
I think also the ability of Alia Bhatt to take it to the rim now. I think she has a lot more confidence with that leg, and she's very skilled at that, and it's a quality, high quality shot for them.
Galden helped force the turnover, it appeared. Alia Bhatt will help tie this one up. 5.5 to go here in the third. It's a quarter where Temple has outscored Tulsa 13-5, and again, another nice defensive effort here.
Look at Crystal Polk there, the big girl getting down. She just couldn't catch it. It was almost like a fumble in football.
Possession arrow favors the Golden Hurricane. Oh, how about the pass from Polk looking for Lewis? Lewis, the offensive putback is good. The two bigs able to connect down low.
That's a nice up and under recovery by.
Nice to see Lewis. An Oklahoma native and a Texas native able to get along there.
Oh, yeah.
And count the bucket, free throw coming up for the aforementioned Alia Bhatt and her aggression attacking that rim.
I just like their percentage, their high percentage shooting that they're doing. And they're able to do this a couple times. It's a little screen at the elbow and no one's switching off. And so she's getting around the big girl. She's little. I mean, they've got her at 5'4". I'm going to say 5, maybe 3'2".
You're listed at 5'4". Yeah. That's probably generous.
Yeah, it's very generous. So, but she's getting around them, and you know, we say put them in prison, which means you're underneath the rim and there's no way they can block you. And she's got you so far under there that you just can't block the shot.
Alia has 20 points. Remember, she put up 28 in the win against ECU the other night. And of course, headliner today, just a freshman, Maddy Biddle. Different three-point opportunity coming up for her.
Yeah, Perry's kind of gotten the bad end of that deal because she's really tried hard to get those charges.
Tanya Cardoza wants to talk things over as as Tulsa battling back, gives us a chance to check back in with Bruce.
Hey guys, it's time to once again interact on the ADN, and here's our question for you now. Respond on the answer line on Facebook. Temple's Alia Bhatt became the Owls' all-time leader in steals with 2 steals against Tulane on January 8th. She has 1 more today. 252 career steals entering tonight. Where does Alia Bhatt rank among the America's career steals leaders? So where does she rank among the American Athletic Conference career steals leaders? You know, one thing we talked with Temple coach Cardoza about is she got a degree in anthropology from Virginia. So I asked her, you know, are you thinking about having an archaeological dig or whatever? And she said, no real interest in that, no real interest in being, you know, a Harrison Ford or that sort of thing. But I'll tell you what, her team has done a very nice job of digging out of a hole early on and clawing and digging for a win here today, guys.
No easy majors over there in Charlottesville, where Tanya Cardoza picked up her degree with the Wahoos. Right now, her Owls hanging in tough with Tulsa on the road.
Bernie scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year.
Hueso from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
This is our game, our moment, our time. We work hard and play harder. We stay loyal to the game and to our team. We are power, American power, the American powered by determination.
Alia Bhatt has Temple up by 2 on the road, and free throws still to come here for Maddy Biddle after she made the bucket. One free throw coming up. The previous question, as Bruce just got done asking you, where Alia Bhatt ranks on the conference's all-time steal list, as she is now #1 at Temple in her 5th and final year. But his previous question, of course, was asking how many of Tulsa's opponents this year were in the postseason last year, NCAA and WNIT. That answer was 12 total teams. It's a schedule this year. That's included, of course, UConn and USF, but Arizona State, American and Belmont, Little Rock, all teams in the NCAA tournament last year, plus Alabama, Cincinnati, Houston, St. Louis, Stephen F. Austin, and UCF, all in the WNIT. So a battle-tested squad. A lot of that took place in non-conference play. Looking for a win here at home, as Alia Bhatt with the rebound.
Well, with Davis out of the game, that was the first shot I've seen him shoot that I thought was quick and not a good one.
Offensive board for Mackins, the freshman. Alia Bhatt again, raining in threes, taking the tour on the road tonight.
She's like, we're going to go for 2 in a row here. You can tell she's really starting to feel it. She's settling into her role as kind of a do a little bit of everything role.
Alia's got 23 points now on the ball game. And offensive putback by Lewis.
Lewis is very tough on that offensive end. She's hard to get, you know, they had her blocked out, but she just got around them, and she's pretty quick. Yeah, I'm not liking that shot by Perry. That's twice in a row. They're leaving her open for a reason.
Inside, frees up Biddle, top of the key, good. Yet another triple for Biddle.
Yeah, Biddle's been hot all game, and that's her shot.
Mentioned Alia Bhatt went off for 28 the other night. Her career high is 30 a few years ago against Memphis. Fires one in, a little too hot to handle apparently. And she was looking to link up with Perry.
Well, I think Perry tried to move before she got it that time. I mean, she's you know, coming in off the bench, and she only has, like I said, averages 1.9 points for him, 4.4 rebounds, but she shoots 21% from 3-point range. So on my team, she wouldn't have a green light.
Tulsa with a 1-point edge right now in a back and forth ball game. Lewis off the mark, put back no good from Galden. How about a third chance at it all? Galden in for the closer look. Drops it down, and access denied with a block from Neon. Well, Tulsa got 3 looks. Could not grow the lead. Alia Bhatt 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. As there you see the defensive effort from Temple. Defense, they say, travels. So does some offense as well with Alia Bhatt. 26 points now, 4 away from matching her career high.
She rested up for that one.
Up ahead, a foot race. Give Butts the assist. Mayo with the layup.
That's a good heads-up play by Maya, releasing, knowing that no one was back there, and then Butts hitting her in the transition.
And Mathilda Mossman wants a timeout, as she has seen Temple now reestablish a 4-point advantage, as Tulsa has missed its last 4. Temple has put up 24 points here in the 3rd quarter. A lot of it, Alia Bhatt, 26 points now for the ball game, including 5 triples for the senior.
Well, if she gets her feet set, you can forget about it. She's gonna make it. She's got a little bounce in her step. She has a little step back move there. She plays almost every minute of every ball game for him. She's got a nice touch. I really like the fact that she's added this dribble drive to her game, because that really makes her really tough to guard.
The pride of Edgewater Park, New Jersey. Recruited out of Holy Cross.
Well, Golden's kind of like settled in a little bit more now. I was really high on her early in the game, but now Butts has kind of taken over. And, you know, they don't have the rhythm that they had. They've been disrupting it.
We were talking about Lasky and the start of the broadcast. Just 4 points so far, limited to 2 of 5 shooting. And that time, shot clock violation for Tulsa.
That's a tough cross-court pass underneath the goal. It's a, you know, you can make a couple of them, but she got caught down there a couple times this game.
Tulsa has brought in Addison Richards, a junior that we see for her 17th time off the bench this year for her first minutes of the day. Richards comes down to defend the perimeter. And Mayo getting in on the front.
That's a big bucket by Mayo. Nicolette Mayo, who is actually a walk-on.
Her sister Imani able to connect on that. You know, that's a great support to have. Those two sisters coming to Temple together. And Temple with another stomp. It's already an 8-0 run for the Owls. They've made their last 3 shots. Alia Bhatt at the moment will slow things down with the shot clock off. They can look to add to this run and close out the third.
Guess who's going to take it?
Oh, defense. Butts had it stripped away, and now a walk is called.
Good defense, though.
Effort from Morgan Brady.
Morgan Brady just picked her pocket. That's hard to do.
Kendra Elliott's going to come back in for these final moments, make it tough to get off a shot with her added size on the court at 6'2". And they will say a block from Golden. She's done a little bit of everything. Tulsa's going to need a bit more going into the fourth. They will trail by 7 entering the final frame. Owls close things out on an 8-0 run. Shut down Tulsa for the final 3 minutes. Quarter number 4 coming up next.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with 1 drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health
and promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American, powered by determination. This is our game, our moment, our time. We work hard and play harder. We stay loyal to the game and to our team. We are power, American power. The American, powered by determination.
Alia Bhatt has Temple out ahead on the road, entering the final 10 minutes of regulation, up by 7. We'll answer the trivia question pertaining to her in a little bit here, but here's Bruce with your next piece of trivia.
Well, as you know, Alia Bhatt's just having a terrific game with the 26 points. She is coming off an ACL injury. Did not play last year. That injury occurred during the preseason, so she didn't play at all last year. In the meantime, she worked hard on her academics, and she got her degree in communications in the spring. Does that mean that she wants to be the next Angela Beck or the next Rebecca Lobo? No, she's painfully shy. She wants to do stuff behind the scenes, a cameraman or a producer or director, something like that. So it's really interesting. She doesn't want to be on camera, but boy, she sure does a nice job of assisting and doing a terrific job tonight for Temple.
Well, since we started the broadcast talking about her, one of our crew members had the assignment of getting some video footage of her shooting around in the gym. She stared him right in the camera and said, "Are you shooting me right now?" She would have rather he not. But we got it over as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Alia Bhatt's picking right back up where she left off in the third quarter with the first 2 points to grow the lead for Temple.
Well, they're shooting 68% in this half, which is a blistering percentage. Very hard to, I mean, you're obviously not defending as tight as you can be if you're giving them that kind of room.
Inside, just unable to get it to go. Second chance, no, and there's a foul. So let's answer that last trivia question that Bruce had for you. Again, Alia Bhatt's the all-time theft leader in program history for Temple. She ranks 4th all-time in the Americans' history as a conference, as she has truly had an impressive career. Gabby Williams and Mariah Jefferson of UConn are 1 and 2. And then you have both Colby Morgan and Zykira Lewis are tied for number 3. So Alia Bhatt's technically 5th right now, but she will likely be continuing to climb up that list. A lot of familiar names from recent years. Morgan just wrapped up her career at Tulane. Zykira Lewis a couple years removed from the Knights. So an 8-point lead for Temple. Already a minute gone here in the fourth quarter.
Well, they've had a hard time in the American Conference here early. And it'll be interesting here to see how they handle this lead in the fourth. You know, they're shooting a blistering 70% from the field in the half, in this half, and really haven't done anything wrong. And they're actually, you know, controlling the tempo with their offense.
Remember, Tulsa started off with the hot hand from beyond the arc, but Temple has found the success as of late. They fired up 21 three-pointers today. They've hit on 7 of them.
That's Mayo coming, just taking it out of Biddle's hand. You know, weak side rebound, and she just grabs it out of Biddle's hand.
Lewis gets a hold of it. Golden one-on-one. What a matchup there, and Golden gets the better of the exchange.
Nice take by Golden, shows her athleticism. She needs more of it right now. She really needs to get active, and this defense needs to pick up.
Desiree Lewis able to help get the turnover that led to the score. And Alia Bhatt's trying to get those 2 points right back. She has matched her career high, 30 points in Tulsa tonight.
There's nothing wrong with her knee. I mean, that right there proves she's not afraid to go and split the defenders.
Owls continue to contest shots. A block from Perry, but not enough. The persistence from Kendra Elliott pays off. Elliott, the junior now, former all-conference freshman. Often will come in for Polk. Put up some good numbers in Crystal's absence. Lewis tries to hold her ground. Is going to be called for the foul.
That's just a double high post set where they give it to the big girl, Davis, who likes to dribble, and she takes it straight down the line to the hole. Here she is, gets that 1-2 dribble. Just misses it, but I mean, percentage-wise, I'd give it to her all day.
A rare miss for Mia Davis at the free throw line. Atkins and Perry come out. Well, Davis got off to a great start. For a while, she was the leading scorer. But then Alia Bhatt took over.
Well, she's had a nice little rest, though. You know, they've had her on the bench here towards the end of the third quarter, so she should be real fresh to make the run.
Win or lose, Temple continues this road swing against Wichita State this weekend. Typically, it's a Wednesday, Saturday turnaround. This week for them, of course, a Tuesday, Saturday turnaround. This time last year, they were rushing home to watch the Super Bowl with the Eagles bringing a title back to Philadelphia. Oh, great drop down. Able to find Elliott, who makes good.
Well, that's what she's capable of doing, creating and getting high-quality shots for her team.
Elliott with 8 points, 4 rebounds tonight. And Biddle's your leading scorer for Tulsa with 15. And a turnover for the senior.
Yeah, right now it's going to get down to which team's able to execute in the quarter court, do the little things right, take their time, get quality shots.
Tulsa's been a lot better about taking advantage of turnovers, leading to 16 of their 56 points. Straight away. Lesky with the rebound. And 0 for 2. And Shantae Taylor gets it back.
Yeah, for Lesky, I just want her to take that back and reset. Yeah, I mean, Brady, if you look at Brady, she's giving Butts everything. She's making her pivot left, right, left, right, left, right before she can even get it. She's trying to wear her down. Not a bad idea as we go down the stretch, and she has to try to jack up those threes.
Brady's Golden Hurricane have led by as many as 13. Alia Bhatt and Temple have led by as many as 9. Right now, just a 5-point affair here in crunch time with a little over 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Kick out, the extra pass off the side of the iron, and the rebound drops right down to Lesky. Alexis Galden gets it back, settles for a 15-footer, no. Lesky almost came through with the steal, but they'll say she stepped out of bounds.
Well, here's Lesky just reading the passing lane. Just steps a little bit on the line, so.
A little hop on the right foot.
Sky does those little things that help her team.
So 5:50 to go. Both teams with a chance to talk it over. Brief timeout here in Tulsa. We'll be back for the remaining 5 minutes, 50 seconds here in the fourth. Temple on the road with the lead.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
I'm Kate Leahy, and this is my story. I love that TU is part of Tulsa, and that we're not stuck on campus. I'm in all sorts of organizations, and I've studied abroad, twice. At TU, I'm involved in whatever I want to be. I've learned that it's okay to change paths, because my life is an amazing book, and I'm still writing it, chapter by chapter. And that's my story, so far.
At the American, we know that power isn't for the faint of heart. Power is reserved for the go-getters, the team players, and those who are hungry for victory. We know power because we are power. Join us for the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship, March 8th through the 11th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Well, at the moment, Tanya Cardozo looking to improve to 6-1 all-time with Temple against Tulsa. They have a 2-score advantage. Still plenty of time left here just inside of 6 minutes to go in the fourth, and plenty of time to check back in with Bruce Howard courtside.
And our final question, interacting with you, American Athletic Conference women's basketball fans, is as such. The all-time winningest head coach in Temple basketball history on the women's side is Tanya Cardozo, of course, entered tonight with 205 victories in 11 years and has led the Owls to 7 postseason berths. What year did the Owls advance to the WNIT Final Four? What year did the Owls advance to the WNIT Final Four? And you guys alluded to this. The two players we focused on all game long, Morgan Brady coming back from an injury for Tulsa, and Alia Bhatt coming back from an ACL injury last year. Those two have been going hammer and tong. I think Coach Mossman decided you better get your better defender on Butts, and so those two, watch them the rest of the way. They're going to go head-to-head the rest of the way, you got to believe.
Bruce, thank you very much. Back underway here in the fourth. Again, your final trivia question. Which year did the Owls advance to the WNIT Final Four? They've had 7 postseason berths under Coach Cardozo, 4 to the NCAA tournament, 3 to the WNIT. Had that one really good run. A lot of good seasons, though, in total for Tanya Cardozo, and a nice job by Temple coming out of their timeout.
Well, great job by Butts trying to get an open shot, and then her nemesis, or her partner in crime, Davis, just controlling the boards and getting a great putback.
19 points for Mia Davis. Remember, she and Alia combined for 48 points in the win against ECU. They've combined for 49 here. And Tulsa able to answer.
It's interesting, too, that Crystal Polk hasn't played for a while, and now we've been seeing Elliott in there for her. She's just been finishing, and they've been going to her more often.
Kendra Elliott becomes the second Tulsa player in double digits. She has 10. And that will help stretch the lead. Mia Davis, she's shooting 44% from beyond the arc this year, the sophomore.
Well, it's amazing. She hasn't taken as many as Alia Butts, but she still has taken, 40-plus shots out there. So it would be hard for me to have her out there because I know how good she is inside, but good for her.
Mia had a great year last year as a freshman without Alia, of course, being healthy in the lineup. And I asked Tanya Cardozo where has she seen her continue to grow, and she mentioned she's expanded her game to that three-point shot. Great ball handling as well. So versatile, so valuable.
We talk about Morgan Brady just for a second on the defensive end, but she just took it to him on the offensive end too. So
Butts will miss. She's now 5 of 9 from downtown. And subsequent look, no. Offensive rebound. Free throw is coming up for Mia Davis. Davis already 22 points, 8 rebounds. And her half hour of play.
Well, there's the Sky doing the dirty work for the team down there.
Temple's enjoying the bonus from here on out. So a 3-score ball game now. Temple's largest lead was at 9 early here in the fourth quarter. Lead at 7 right now. Lewis with the rebound.
A 7-point game, plenty of time. Just need to get quality shots and get a few stops.
Poked away by Mayo.
Both coaches have made really good adjustments on defense, and one of them was when Galden goes to dribble, penetrate, and gets that high post pick, they're staying with her and trapping her, and it's causing her a little difficulty.
Tulsa down by 7. They've played Temple even here in the fourth quarter, 11 points apiece. That one saved by Lewis, but palms to the sky saying, if I'm going to track down that ball, who's there to retrieve it?
Yeah, like just move in one direction.
A lot of spectators. We won't charge anybody for admission just yet.
Lewis plays with a lot of heart. She really does.
Alia Bhatt has already matched her career high, 30 points. Put up 30 against Memphis back in 2015, her sophomore campaign. Actually, a freshman year for Alia. Shot clock counting down, and Tulsa commits the foul.
Well, this is a time when really good coaches control who shoots the basketball. And in this case, they're making sure that it's going to be Alia Bhatt probably, or it's going to be Mia Davis. And, you know, they're going to ride them out here.
As long as Alia forgets the camera is focused on her right now, she should be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a new career high for the senior, and she's not done just yet. 32 points for Alia.
Well, she didn't forget how to play. It's just that, you know, sometimes when you get these injuries, it's hard to play through them.
She's also chimed in with 5 rebounds, 4 assists in her 35 minutes out there, leading Temple here on the road today. Lewis able to dish. Elliott can't knock that one down. Elliott still one of 2 Tulsa players in double-digit scoring. Mentioned Crystal Polk's been on the bench, just played 23 minutes today. Right now with 9 points, 5 rebounds. As Elliott got her hand on that, forces the turnover, but it's taken right back by, again, one of the top thieves we've ever seen in the American.
Well, they mentioned watching this Brady matchup, and she got the better of her that time.
Still plenty of time on that shot clock.
And they're going to milk it down.
15 of Alia's 32 points have come from beyond the three-point line. This time she'll go back to the charity stripe where she just connected on a pair.
So last time down, Tulsa takes a little, you know, here's the pass there. But Tulsa takes a little jump shot, and they have to get to the rim. They've got to draw fouls, get to the rim, either get a score or get a foul. They can't come up empty anymore here. So it's imperative that they really turn this motor on.
And 33 points for Alia. 1 of 2 from the line that time. Quick release from Golden, no. And Tulsa one and done as the rebound secured by Nyan. Tulsa in a scoring drought right now, a little under 3 minutes. Temple hasn't hit a field goal in 3 minutes, but they have been able to earn trips to the free throw line. And there's your matchup here down the stretch to watch. Brady against Butts, and it means more free throws for the senior, the elder of the 2.
Well, there's a lot of standing around watching those 2. I think I'd go to some type of half-court trap and try to trap Butts and make sure anybody but Butts, hopefully not Davis, but anybody but her shoots the ball. They're not getting the ball out of her hands.
Again, 1 of 2, so 34 points for Alia Bhatt. She and Davis have combined for 57 of Temple's 71 points with this double-digit advantage right now. And Desiree Lewis will finally have a chance to head to the free throw line.
That's what I'm talking about, but they need to do it a little quicker than that. You know, get it, dribble, penetrate, pass, shoot to score. And if not, pass to score.
Talented freshman with 9 points tonight, including 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. She's been playing with 4 fouls now. Both she and Brady have 4 fouls. You're not going to sit them here for the final minute plus.
Well, Cardozo didn't have a lot of different lineups to put in there, but the lineup that was really effective was when she put the 3 bigs in there. And she put Perry in there. She put Lena in there, and she put Davis, and those guys they're big.
She's missing Desiree Oliver's 6 points, 4 rebounds a night. She's missing Alexa Williamson's 6 points, 4 rebounds a night. Williamson again with that back injury, while Oliver's just sick, unable to travel. And of course, a couple of other players not playing this year with injuries and under NCAA transfer rules. Again, Temple's going to have a chance potentially to close this game out without actually hitting a shot from the floor down the stretch. Just earning trips to the free throw line.
Yeah, I'm sure this is not going to be the end result that Mathilda Mossman was expecting. And honestly, I think a lot of people thought that, you know, Tulsa would come out on top in this game because of Temple's struggles early. But when you have Alia Bhatt playing like the senior that she is and dictating action and hitting those kind of shots, it makes it tough.
There's a decent chance you and I will be talking about Alia a week from now as perhaps receiving some conference honors.
Well, correct, and she deserves them. And, you know, anybody that comes back for their graduate year to play for their team, you want great things to happen to them.
Tulsa led by 5 at halftime when Temple had trimmed a 13-point deficit down to 5 on a bit of a run. Temple continued that momentum into the third quarter, put up 27 points, established a lead. And while it's been fairly tight right now, all of a sudden a double-digit advantage that now Tulsa's trying to overcome. Lena Neon again affecting shots around the rim. Tulsa's just 2 of its last 10. Neither team has hit a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes, but Alia Bhatt and her teammates have found ways to get to that charity stripe to try to put this one away. It was a Temple team that started 0-5 in conference. Finally got that monkey off their back, as Tanya Cardoza said in her last press conference following the win against ECU. They pick up that win at home. They hit the road, and it looks like they're going to have a winning streak now. 2-5 in conference. Temple wins back-to-back ball games, and they will have a favorable matchup in Kansas against Wichita State coming up this weekend.
Well, their scoring percentage and their efficiency was amazing. They just took over the second half, and especially the second quarter, scoring 27 points in the second quarter. I mean, in the third quarter.
It's 25 points now for Mia Davis. What a day again. Both of these wins, the 2 leading scorers have really stepped up, and you haven't had to concern yourself with who would be that number 3 scorer for Temple just yet. They only play 7 players. Tanya Cardoza does, just 2 players off her bench. Incredible outing from their starters. In particular, again, their graduate student in Alia Bhatt and their super sophomore Mia Davis. So after again an 0-5 start, Temple has won their last 2. 1 at home, now 1 on the road, as they prevail with a 14-point victory, able to pull away late in the fourth quarter. In a moment, Bruce will have a chance to talk to Victoria's head coach, Tanya Cardoza, and I don't think there's going to be much suspense as to which student athlete, even if she does protest being on camera. Mathilda Mossman, they've got some good things going there in Tulsa, just need to find the consistency.
Yeah, they have to take the right shots at the right time and kind of spread the wealth around a little bit. But this was a well-deserving win for Temple.
Let's check in with Bruce and your Victoria's coach, Tanya Cardoza.
Coach, you were down by 13 in the first half. What changed?
You know, we limited their 3-point shots, like I said, at the half, and we started making shots. That was the biggest difference. I thought our defensive intensity picked up a little bit more, and we tried to make it a little more difficult for them to score.
And I asked you before the ball game, you know, is Alia Bhatt all the way back yet? Or what game was it that showed that she was all the way back from the injury? You said the last game, ECU. Are you willing to say another new game for her all the way back?
Most definitely. I mean, she had a career high, and we needed every single bucket. I thought she played a tough game, you know, didn't come out in the second half, didn't ask for a sub, so that shows growth on her part.
And Mia Davis was really good for you inside and outside, wasn't she?
Yes. I mean, we have 8 players, one that's, you know, 7 real scholarship players, and the fact that we were able to come out here and find a way to pull out a win, I thought it was a great team effort.
What does this win and this momentum you have now do for Temple basketball?
Well, I don't know if it's momentum, but, you know, it just, they feel good about themselves right now, and that's the most important thing, you know, carrying over things that we're doing in practice, and then they're seeing that good things happen when they do that.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
The head coach of the Temple Owls, Tanya Cardoza. And now we're joined by Alia Bhatt, who is just outstanding in today's game. What was working well for you? What were you seeing out there?
My shot was falling, so I just, you know, like everything was going good for me. Like the shot was falling, so I continued to shoot the ball and play with confidence and help my teammates win.
And you also were able to get to the basket after they started running you off the line some.
Yeah.
Was that important too?
Yeah, because they took away my shots. I had to figure out another way to score and help my teammates.
And what did your team do defensively that you thought was important to kind of turn the game around?
Oh, we started to pick it up and get stops. We started to find ways to stop their posts and stop their guards from shooting the three-pointer. So,
after all you've been through with the ACL and coming back, how gratifying is this? What's this mean to you to play like this today?
It felt good, finally, get back to myself, the old me, and just keep working hard every day to get back to where I was before.
Sky's the limit the rest of the year then for this team, huh?
Yes, hope we can pick it up and get some more wins in the conference.
Alia, congratulations. Great job.
Thank you.
Alia Bhatt with a new career high today for the Temple Owls as they come from behind and defeat the Tulsa Golden Hurricane here in Tulsa. Guys?
She set her previous career high as a freshman when she was already taking over the headlines in Philadelphia. She sets that new mark here as a fifth-year senior. 34 points for Alia Bhatt. What an outing. 5 3-pointers, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Really shining bright here tonight.
Without a doubt. It was a pleasure to watch that and see her play.
Her teammates wanted to carry her off. She got the bad news. You got to stick around for a conversation, but she handled it quite well. Congratulations to Alia Bhatt. Career high 34 points leads Temple now to back-to-back victories as they knock off Tulsa on the road, 75-61 for Angela Beck, Bruce Howard, our entire American Digital Network crew. I'm Lincoln Rose. Don't have to wait long for more American women's basketball. We are in Tampa tomorrow when the Bulls host the Bearcats. USF in Cincinnati. You're up next tomorrow night on the American Digital Network.